Welcome to the Queen's Lair, a lifestyle podcast. Get inspired by our latest tips and information about small business, entrepreneurship, natural hair, travel, food, and even relationships. Stay tuned for another great episode. I am your host, Renee Patrice. Welcome back, everybody. How are you doing? Thank you so much for tuning into my podcast once again. I am answering questions. If you guys have been listening to the podcast in the last several months, I've been answering questions that people will email me. Your questions can be about anything small business, social media management, anything about branding, of course, that's what we do over here. So anything like that, even about events. If people remember from years ago, I was a wedding planner. I did all sorts of events, and I still do on occasion, events for outside folks, other than my clients. I do still fit, some events in there. But yeah, if you have any questions about that sort of thing, I am going to start answering those questions and create a podcast episode around it. If you haven't checked out a couple podcasts before this one, I answered the question about how often should you post on your social media. So definitely check out that episode if you have not already, and let's jump into this one. Okay, so this question comes from Sarah McNeil. I hope I'm saying that right. Sarah McNeil. This is for you, Sarah. Okay, she asked, what is the importance of the Instagram feed? Like, what are the types of posts that Instagram reads? Because she said that she is very confused by the algorithm. Okay. First of all, Sarah, let me just tell you right now, ma'am, we're all confused about the algorithm, to be very honest. The algorithm, I feel like, and I don't know if this is true, only the folks that work at Instagram and Facebook know, but I feel like the algorithm changes. I have no idea, but I found a couple great articles. So I'm going to run through and give you kind of the rundown. And just according to this article, I do believe that this is truly true. So I'm going to run through and kind of give you what I have learned over time and what you can, give you some nuggets that you can take and use in your business. So this is according to Instagram. According to Instagram, this is the hierarchy of how things are formulated, going along with the algorithm. I lost my train of thought for a second. Number one is interest. Okay, so your Instagram feed is not just looking at who you follow or who follows you. It is based on your interest. So not what's interesting out in the world, but your interest. So what that means is whatever you click on the most, Instagram's algorithm says, oh, they like to click on foodie stuff. So you will start to see more of that on your feed. When you go to the explore page, you will see more foodie people. Okay. And I'm kind of using that as an example because that's my wheelhouse. I deal with a lot of foodie folks. You guys know that I have chefs as clients. So my whole timeline, which is actually kind of bad if you're trying to cinch and your waist up for the new year. It's really not that great to have all that food shown on your feed all the time, but that's what it is. I get a lot of stuff, desserts and dinners and chefs and recipes and all that sort of stuff. That's heavily what my timeline will show, as well as other lifestyle type stuff. So I see luxury homes and houses. I see a lot of things that have to do with decor, event decor, all that sort of stuff. Those are the things that I deal with every day as far as my business is concerned, and even in my personal, like in my own life, those are the things that I actually love. The things that I absolutely love are the things that I actually do for my job as a business owner. So those are the things that you're going to see. Okay, so interest, whatever you are clicking on all the time, Instagram says that's what they like, that's what we're going to show them. Okay, the next thing is relationship. Okay, so now relationship is, okay, who is connected to you? All right, so the algorithm is working to prioritize posts that are coming from people that have a direct relationship with you. So anybody that's friends with you, family, any accounts that you care about that you click on all the time, the algorithm wants to feed that to you the most because they think that that's what you feel is important, which goes back to number one for interest. Okay, timeliness. Okay, algorithm also takes into consideration how much engagement your Instagram posts are getting, how much engagement your Facebook posts are getting, and how long ago that particular post was posted. So it's really great. It works in your favor that when you post something, that all of the engagement that you get for it is right up front. So I always like to look at posts that I've done like the first 30 minutes to an hour to make sure I get as much engagement as possible on those posts, you know. And what I will do sometimes, and here's a little trick for you in the background, when I do post something on my social media, especially Instagram or Facebook, but especially Instagram, what I will do is during that time, I will go and click like on other people's posts. I will go around Instagram and comment. This is all within the first 30 minutes to an hour of something that I have posted on my social media. Because what often happens is when people come and click like on something, a lot of times people will go look at the profile of the person that clicked like, right? So if somebody came and clicked like on your post, you were like, oh, who's this person? I often go through the people that have clicked like on my post and I go to their profile just to see who they are, what they're about. Sometimes, read their bio to see, what they're into, and if they have a link in their bio, or a link tree or something like that, or an interesting website, I'll even go click to the website to get even further familiar with who they are and what they do. And it also helps me as far as like when I'm posting and, to see who my audience is, to see who is seeing things. So timeliness. The algorithm definitely cares about when you posted because it always wants to give you, that algorithm is always wanting to give you the most relevant, the latest information, and your most interesting posts. All right. So that's number 3 is timeliness. All right. The next thing is frequency. How often do you post? All right. If you are if you're constantly a person that's looking through things, and you like to scroll through. See, now that's the thing. It changes for me sometimes. If you're a person that likes to scroll and you like to go through long scrolls, you will see the feeds of, you will see your feed. It will be more in chronological order. I think that was one of the things that Facebook made a change to, and I say this all the time, but, for people that don't realize, Facebook owns Instagram, okay? One of the things that I love about chronological order is because all the people that I choose to follow, I want to see what they're posting, but because they're doing the algorithm differently, you don't always see the other folks. You usually see maybe the first 30 to 50 people that you interact with the most. And then the other folks are kind of by the wayside. You kind of got to remember to go click directly to their page. So if you never click like on someone that you're following, like ever, you're not going to see their things prioritized in your feed, So frequency, if you're a person that loves to scroll, The feed is going to look more like it's in chronological order because they want to serve you the posts and everything according to how you click. Okay. If you do not go on Instagram that often, let's say there's a couple days of the week that you just don't go on Instagram, your feed is going to be sorted into what Instagram thinks that you will like instead of chronological order. Okay. So people often say, oh, I saw this post from like 7 days ago or 6 days ago, because you're probably not a person who really scrolls through a lot. You kind of go on to the people that you want to see. You do searches, find the person that you want to see, and you just, go to their stuff rather than just going to your feed and doing like a full scroll through your feed. Okay, so that is definitely a thing that if you want to kind of manipulate the algorithm, do some more scrolling through your actual feed, and then you'll see things start to align themselves in a more chronological order. So that's kind of a little hack there. Okay, so that's number 4 was frequency. Number 5 is following. How many people do you follow on Instagram? Okay, if you follow a lot of people, then Instagram has more options to choose, so you probably won't see all of the posts from every account. See what I'm saying? So when you see these accounts that are following, the max 7,500 people, what are they going to show you? It's impossible for you to see. What if every 7,500 of those people posted at least one time a day? You're not going to look at that many posts in a day. So I kind of understand from that perspective why they decided to do the interest thing. They want to put things in front of you that they figure, according to how they click, this is probably what they want to see. Okay, so I kind of understand it from that perspective, but are you really going to look at 7,500 things? And let me just put this in, and this is not part of the lineup here with this. I'll just interject with this. Don't just go following everybody just to follow them. That's another thing that I see. I see people following like 2,000 people, 3,000 people. You're not going to look at all that people's stuff. You're just not. And you are overwhelming yourself with so much information. And then it's just not useful. I follow people who truly inspire me and who really speak to me at my core. I follow specific business folks that are like mentors in my head, that kind of thing. And people who are really going to, who are making sense, and, they update on a regular basis and that sort of thing. It is very rare on any of my social medias that I follow like 1,000 people. I don't think any of my social medias I'm following that many people at all. I went through and cleaned up my Facebook maybe 3 or 4 years ago. I think I used to follow like 800 something people on my Facebook. I don't even know how many people I follow now on Facebook. It's probably half that now. Follow who really inspires you. Follow people who are really out there hustling and doing their thing, who are positive. It's not that you can't follow the funny accounts and the accounts that poke fun and all that kind of stuff. I follow some of those accounts too. But if you're just on there just to be on there, and you're just following just to follow because you want to try to get all the information that you can from every single person that you can, you're not going to learn that way. Then it's going to be a whole bunch of confusion. Well, this person says that you should do it this way, and this person says you should do it the way that works for you and your brand. I'm assuming that if you are a business, do what works for you and your brand, because your experience is going to be totally different than theirs. Somebody can come in and say, you need to post 5 times a day. Okay. I could tell you from my experience, I used to post 5 times a day, and it didn't make me no never mind. As Kev on Stage, if y'all don't follow Kev on Stage, you need to follow him. He said it didn't make me no never mind. It didn't make much of a difference whether I posted once a day or 5 times a day. So all it did was take up more of my time. That's really all it did. I'm getting better engagement posting once a day for my brand. Okay, I can't speak for your brand, but I can speak for mine. Once a day is perfect. And then I posted my stories throughout the day, and that works for me. Okay, so number 5 was following. All right. Factor number 6, and just so you guys know, I'm getting this article. It's been reposted several times, but TechCrunch, I believe, has the article as well. Okay, the number 6 factor that goes into the algorithm is usage. If you spend a lot of time on Instagram, you're going to see more posts as Instagram digs deeper into its catalog of posts. All right. If you spend enough time on Instagram, you can even run out of new content to see. Okay. So once you start running out of new content, right? Once Instagram doesn't have anything else, what they do is the algorithm will say, well, they liked to click on this stuff, so I think that they will like this. And then you'll start to see suggestions of brand new stuff that you probably have never seen before. Okay, so like I said, you can kind of manipulate the algorithm to kind of move in your favor if you just pay attention to some of these things. Okay, so now I'm going to go into how the algorithm works for the stories. So let me just read this little piece here. The Instagram stories algorithm also puts a lot of focus on timeliness, as it wants to make sure it's always showing you the latest stories from your favorite account. So if you don't know how that works, you will see that across the top of your profile, you have those little circles. So those are all the people that you're following, and whoever has the latest stories, okay? It doesn't just show you who posted stories. Whoever has the most recent stories will always, because you will see those bubbles, those little circles keep jumping all the time, because whoever has the latest stories, who posted the most recently in their stories, are going to show up first. Okay, so knowing that, it's a good idea for you to consistently post in your Instagram stories, which I do. Even if I don't post on my timeline, I will post something in my stories, because whoever is following you, you will always pop up in their stories at the very beginning. So if you post in your stories, don't post in your stories 2-3 things and then don't post anything for 5 more days, because everybody else is going to jump in front of you. But if you stay in your stories consistently, and I don't mean you have to do this every hour, but if you stay in your stories consistently, that little circle, that little bubble will keep coming up and showing up there. Okay, so keep on top of your stories. The main thing about anything is staying consistent. Okay, now how the algorithm works on the Explore page. All right, so overall, the Explore page and the feed algorithm are very similar. They both deliver content that Instagram thinks that you'll be most interested in based on your prior interactions. So like I said, where you click and how you click and what you look at and what you click on, that is going to determine a lot of what you see on the Explore page. Okay, but the Explore page also has a lot of content from accounts that you don't know. All right, but if you pay attention, you will also see the things that are closest around you. Okay, so you will often see the posts of some of your friends. You will also see posts of your friends' friends, because it tries to connect the dots of relationship. It's kind of like the 6 degree of separation thing. Okay, so definitely the way that you can manipulate the algorithm, all right, to kind of make it make more sense, is to be consistently on your social media, consistently at least open up the app and scroll through. That way things will be more in chronological order. Also, where you click and what you click on. That is what's going to control what's in front of you. So you actually can kind of almost, quote unquote, control the algorithm to a certain extent, and you can kind of trick it into giving you what you want, but you have to be consistent. Now, if you're a person who only goes on Instagram once a week, this is probably not going to work for you. But if you're actively on Instagram every day and you're like, I don't understand how this works and I don't know, this is a way to do that. All right. So just to review again, there are 6 top things of how the algorithm works in the news feed. And that's by interest, by relationship, timeliness of the post, frequency, okay, of how much you post, who you're following, who's following you, and how much do you actually use the app? How much are you actually on Facebook? How much are you actually on Instagram? So paying attention to these things is a way that you can more easily control the Instagram algorithm or even the Facebook algorithm, because they work very much the same. Okay, so hopefully that helped explain a little bit better on how you can make the algorithm work for you, because if you really try to brainstorm this and go and dig so super deep, who knows if they're going to flip the algorithm and make it change again. But for right now, we know that this is according to Instagram. This is coming directly from Instagram. Interest, relationship, timeliness, frequency, following, and usage. So in that order. And also, Instagram loves live. They love when you go live, they love reels, and they love video. Those are some top things. And I know that just from doing a lot of social media management for many different brands. So videos do very well. Your pictures should be quality pictures, crisp pictures in HD. All these pictures out here that are blurry, looking like you took a picture with a potato, come on now. Let's get these videos together. There's so many apps out there. These phones that they have now, you don't even need to buy a separate, digital camera for anything. These new iPhones and these new Androids do everything for you. People say, oh, your videos and your pictures are so clear. Listen, it's all on my phone. I don't have a separate camera that I bring with me or anything. Everything is from my phone. And my tablet camera is spectacular. All of that is from my mobile devices. All right. So hopefully this helped you, Sarah. If you got any other questions, feel free to email me again and we can talk about it some more. But hopefully this helped you with how the algorithm works within Instagram and Facebook. If you want to email me, feel free, info@OnyxQueenMedia. Find me on social media. Join the party. It's a good time, And if you listen to my podcast, let me know, tag me and let me know. Take a picture of you listening to my podcast or screenshot it and tag me @OnyxQueenMedia. And I'll talk to you soon, you guys. Bye.